It's showtime. Showtime at the used to be called Showtime at the Apollo, but what do you call this?
At the watch home.
Showtime at the W House. That ought to work. I'll turn that off for now. I'll let this go for about 30 seconds. Get everybody able to press the skip ad button. How's everybody doing? It seems like we just did this like a week ago. Like these Sundays come too damn fast. Markets, man, we getting slapped around with inflation, ain't we? Now, I just drove by the gas station, and mind you, I'm in the affordable, air quote affordable part of California, and it's $5.97 per gallon. That's if you don't mind cheap gas. If you were one of them bougie types that I only put Chevron, or I only put Shell, or I only put Exxon gas, then you're in the 629, 649, 659 range for regular unleaded. I did see diesel for $7.29 a gallon. So yeah, every day 10 cents it seems. I do got a poll up, and I kind of want to discuss this a little bit. And I wish this had like multiple choice type, like you can choose more than one, but you can't. But it's about inflation, right? And what are you doing about inflation, right? Are you saving money during this time? Are you spending money during this time? Are you investing money during this time? See, investing and spending kind of goes a little bit hand in hand. Are you just hiding? Like hiding from, nah, I better not start. So we'll talk about that later a while. Just answer that poll. That'd be nice. It'll be interesting to look through that. Last week was rough. Got hit with, I don't know what it was, almost 9% inflation or something. The markets reacted very swiftly at the end of Thursday and Friday. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, at the end of Thursday and Friday. So S&P ended up down 6% for the week. The Dow ended up down 5.2. NASDAQ ended up down 6.9, basically 7%. And the Russell ended up down 4.6%. And the VIX ended up almost 11% last week. So I was talking, if you follow my options videos, I was talking about the moving averages acting as resistance, and they did. And all these, the Qs and the SPY fell toward support levels. So those are intact. So we'll see if we get a small little bounce here on Monday. I'd imagine we might. It really just depends. The overwhelming narrative is, inflation and gas, and it's never going to end. But it's going to have to end, and it's going to end one way or the other. And that's kind of where I wanted to put that question in is at what point, right? There's some things you can do with inflation, right? I'll just say saving, like the first one there, saving is not the one you want to be doing during an inflationary period. It really doesn't make sense. Spending makes a little bit more sense, but spending on what is really the question. That's really important because in an inflationary period, your money's hot, right? It's like hot potato. Get that stuff out of your hands and put it into something that's cheaper today. That's going to be more expensive tomorrow. Investing, yeah, get you into some nice undervalued dividend stocks, knowing that you may have to average down some, but at least you'll get that dividend and your money's working. And then hiding, yeah, I guess that's an option too. So that's all I got. So what are you doing with inflation, guys? I'm actually, my choice would have been spending and investing, those two things, because you have to, if you can spend the money now on things that are going to be more expensive in the coming weeks, months, etc. Spend the money now, because if that item that you were going to spend money on, that you would normally spend money on, goes up 10%, that's 10% you lost, right, in purchasing power. So buying it now would make more sense. So spending and investing, and yes, I'm investing for future dividend income and things like that. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm trying not to save. Saving is just that it's you're losing out. Every dollar you save, you're losing out. We have a lot of cash on the side, and that's just, you're losing out. You are. Or you mean, I'm getting what, 0.7%, 1% on the cash sitting there, and inflation's 9%. It's not a good deal. Slim Dog here says I-bonds are an awesome way to save for future purchases. That's one place to put cash, as long as you don't need the cash, right? And as long it's just a small amount of money, you can only do like 10 grand a year for each social security number or something like that. It's been a while since I read it, so I probably don't remember all of it. But at least it's gonna not erode, right? You're not gonna make any money. Let's be clear on I-bonds. You're not making any money, but your money is not eroding. Your purchasing power isn't eroding, if that makes sense. Dr. Drip Johnson says, don't tell me what to do. Vote, dang it. Gary, how you doing, Gary? Happy Sunday. Bend over. Howdy, fellow traders. The Sheik is in the house. Hello, everyone. Just starting work, but I didn't plan to work very hard, so I'll be here. Right on. Knives is first. The knife is always first. Bend over says, no, don't bully me, Knives. Negatory Ghost Rider. Okay. First female. Negative. Say what? Is there another one up there? Fed is going to raise 75.75 this week, I bet. I don't know. That's kind of hard to say. They should just wreck it. Get it over with. This soft landing crap is just, it's dumb. Oh boy. We got knives. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them damn things. Bang! The slapping isn't even close to being finished. No, you like being slapped, huh? Good evening. What a week. You nailed me on a firm. Now explain how we can short using options. I nailed you on a firm? How'd I do that? Let me see. I remember we were talking about it. We're saying that it, don't say that it can't go down another 30%, and it could, even because it did. Where are we at on it? Oh, it didn't go down 30, did it? Let me see. Firm. It went down 20. You're right. It went down 20. Hey, just roll them suckers. Well, I don't know what strike you got on it. My beers went up 35 cents. I'm devastated. Well, if your beer was $1, that's huge. That's 35%. Now, I was thinking about it today. I was like, the dollar store If you ever been into a dollar store, they're now like $1.25 stores or whatever. They marked them up again. I mean, last year I think it was. Um, and now they're having sprinklings of just normal merchandise, like $3, $4, $5 price points and things like that. So there's going to be like the store is like shrinking down into not even dollar merchandise or even $1.25 merchandise. They're probably going to have to do it again here pretty soon. I guarantee you they're going to be going up to maybe $1.35 store or something like that. He'll never recover as much beer as he drinks. Buying more Jeppy so I can survive. Worst day of my life. Grr. Greetings all. Greetings, Dark Knight. I know futures are not a guide now, but they are blood red. NASDAQ down over 200 points. Yeah, that's way too early. Way too early. Even still, even at because I usually look at about 11 o'clock at night, and they change like way a lot from then. And then at about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, I think it was something like that, they change like a big way again. So it's not even really something to truly pay attention to unless you're trading futures. GW, where are the ladies at? Did y'all offend them? I guess so. Where'd Eminem go? Going Green Mom. Eminem hasn't been here for a few weeks. I think Going Green Mom was here last week, I believe. All good. I haven't seen All Good.
You guys break up?
Did we break? We must have, and I just don't know it. The saver's paradox is now in effect. Spend now is better for you and the economy. Yeah, saving is, you're always taught to save, but it makes no sense to save. We're kind of stuck in a way. We're every oh, is she? Okay. Every option we have is a little bit iffy, right? Buy stocks, they can keep going down. Save your money, you're getting beat up by inflation. Buy bonds, those could get trashed too. What's the options? Buy a house, oh, but those might crash as well. Buy gold, buy ammo, buy food. Those actually are more sensible. Don't forget to hit the like button, everyone, for sure. There she is, Going Green Mom. Howdy. Bend over. Any idea what happens when a stock gets delisted and my platform doesn't do pink slip trading? You'll probably just get liquidated if your platform doesn't do pink trade on the pinks, I think. Well, how would you get liquidated if they don't trade it? That's interesting. I don't know. You should be able to close it out though. Chicken Charlie, hello. Anyone having fun yet under Brandon? I believe the fun is just getting started. This could go on for another 2 years easy. Pretty easy. That's what's kind of scary about it, is we got a ways to go if they don't turn things around. I was just thinking today, I was like, how do I say this without getting extremely political? It almost seems like they're sabotaging themselves. The administration is sabotaging themselves, and I don't understand why. And it's weird. It's really weird. Maybe they don't want to admit fault, or they don't want to admit they're wrong. They don't want to do anything to make them look bad, but yet they look bad for not doing anything. I don't understand. It's weird. Good evening from Fort Myers. Good evening, Stone Cold. Last 2 weeks before heading north. Good evening, Financial Options with Thumper. Catching up here a bit real quick, but I hear ours is 540 in northern Indiana. Yeah, I think the worst here was in San Francisco. That's probably like obvious. And that was, what did I hear? 679 or something like that. Might have been more than that. I saw some Chevron stay. Chevron's like the most expensive gas of all gas here, at least here in California. I don't know if it's like that everywhere else. But they have $8 gas down in like Los Angeles, $8 a gallon right now at Chevrons in certain ones. Freedom Seeker, hello. Dave has a new video up. He's alive. He's alive. That's good news. But who's Dave? If he ain't here, I don't know.
Does he even exist?
Haven't heard from All Good in a while, it seems. Hope she's doing fine. Maybe she's hiding. Like maybe she's the one that voted. There was somebody that voted hiding, so it might have been.
It was me.
It might have been hiding. Oh, that was you. Thumper says, I hope houses crash. I want to own one. I don't know. It's tough about housing because there's not enough supply. So if there's not enough supply, how can it crash? I just don't understand how that works, how that could work. Demand really has to completely dry up because supply is not there. And of course, demand is probably cooling, but demand has to really, really drop. And it probably is. And then, I know we complain about gas prices, right? But in the grand scheme of things, on an individual level, gas prices isn't really that big of a deal, right? I know I'm going to get some hate for that one. Like, what are you talking about?
How are you talking about?
See? But what I'm saying is, it's going to depend on how much you drive. It's going to depend on how you drive. Can you, do things to reduce it, right? I mean, what did our gas bill went up? Maybe if I did the math correctly, I was doing like some back of the napkin math, and it's like $150 to $200 extra per month. Now that's a lot of money, granted, but that shouldn't be a point where that's devastating you, if is what I'm saying. But the thing is, when you look at it on the bigger picture, then everything starts making more sense because uh, even though gas isn't really that big of an expense, it's just everything else that goes along with it goes up as well. So your food costs are going to go up and all that. So that's what we've been doing. We've just been buying. When I would have said I would vote spending on that poll, if we see something that we usually buy, it's like buy it. Oh, we don't need, if it's something you can freeze, if it's canned goods that you can store, feminine hygiene products, anything, right? If you can store it and you can afford to buy it right now, buy it and store it, because that is getting ahead of inflation, right? Yeah, so we're just buying, we're spending. Dr. Drip says, crypto is doing great. YOLO in, everyone. Hurry. If it crashes, I bet you it'd probably be a nice time to go in. I don't know where it's at the moment. Lots of thumbs up from Knives. Lots of thumbs. And I'm doing a mix on the poll. I'm spending on stuff I know we will use. There you go. Saving instead of buying fast food or crap like that. There you go. And less investing than I would like. I typically hide from people. There you go. Yeah. We're kind of the same way. Trying not to eat out as much. Um, Definitely spending on stuff you know you will use. That's very, very smart, because a 10% save now is essentially 10% earned. Even though it's not going to feel that way, but in the grand scheme of things, that's how it works. Chicken Charlie says, I'm not worried just yet about the stock market, but I'm seriously worried about the upcoming blackouts and potential food shortages this fall. I'm not too worried about the stock market either. They're sitting on support levels, so we'll see. It has it had, I think the Qs are at 288, and it's got some support down there at 280. So it's got a little bit of room. We'll see if that holds up. If that holds up, I will be okay. If it doesn't, then it could get a little bit more uglier. But the Nasdaq's down almost 30% already year to date. 30%. I think it's like 28.8 or something like that. That's a big number. That's a big number, and it's a number that you're going to look at and you're going to say, where do you go in, right? There's going to be people that are going to be going in, and big institutions that are going to scale into this market, right? They probably scaled in at 20%. Now they're going to scale in again if we get to 30%. If they get to 40%, they're going to really start scaling. If we get to 50, they're going to go all in. So at some point in time, we just don't know when, the market's going to reverse and take us for a ride. But blackouts, I'm worried about blackouts here. We're talking California. They're already talking about voluntary blackouts, because we had some 100-degree days here. Save your electricity. Well, this doesn't make sense. How can we save electricity and buy electric cars and charge our cars and do all that? I don't understand how that push is happening. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense, obviously. Potential food shortages. Yeah, that's interesting. Because of the cost, there was a pork. I only saw the headline real quick. There was a pork plant. I don't know if it was Tyson, not Tyson. It was some big meat processing plant here in California. They shut down. This is too damn expensive to work out here in California. We're just going to shut this one down. I don't know how much they supply they provide the system, or are they moving the production elsewhere to another facility? I don't know the particulars, but that's kind of scary. Like, food plants are like, all right, we're done. Like, that's kind of trippy. Loading up the investment account, being ready to deploy when the market starts to turn, playing puts to make a little money in the meantime. It's a good idea. How dare you? GW, it's called Build Back Better. Well, they got to destroy it first? I mean, come on. Ad Rocks. If it traded on another exchange, I think he's still talking about the pink here, pink sheets. If it traded on another exchange, typically you have to talk to someone at the brokerage to sell it. I talked to Fidelity about BABA when they were talking about delisting in US. Yeah, I'm sure even if they don't support pink sheets on your broker platform, they're going to obviously be able to sell it for you, but it probably just won't be online. Charlie, where you at? Able to garden? I think it's too late to start gardening now for us. I have a jalapeno plant in the back, and might get like 5 or 6 jalapenos there every couple of weeks in season. That's the most I can do. Oh, see, there you go. In order to build back, we must destroy it first, sir. That's sure what it seems like. That's sure as heck what it seems like. I read an article that some towns in Michigan, the police are very selective in which calls to respond to because the gas is so high. Yeah, I saw that too. That they were taking they were making phone calls instead of actually going out to the scene or whatever. They would just call and try to Zoom meet. Let's have a Zoom meeting about this. Oh man. They have no idea what to do about student loans. Market will crash if payments start back up. They have no idea what to do about anything. It seems to me. I have no confidence in their ability to make any good decisions at all. My county, I just saw a headline again that the eviction moratorium for the 2020 COVID shutdown has just been lifted. So anybody who has back rent from March 2020 up until like today or something like that needs to pay their landlord back by January 2023 or something like that. February. And I was like, man, that's been in place all this time. It's like, I don't know. Are these people going to be evicted? It's weird. I wasn't here last week. Got caught on a live. I typically duck out after an hour and a half. Gotcha. She replied to me on this. Oh, I must be talking about all good there. She's fine. Oh, that's good. Oh, she did respond. She did comment on my video yesterday. Going green. I have a beautiful strawberry patch. I'm growing cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, string beans. I guess I'll freeze the leftovers. Yeah, how does that work with vegetables? Because I know you can buy frozen vegetables in the store, but they flash freeze them. Is it different with growing fresh vegetables and freezing them in your freezer? That's interesting. Gary said the inflation seed was planted back in Trump's admin, but we elected all clowns and will again in 2024. The parties don't matter; they are all clowns. No, you're absolutely right. Actually, you can go back to Obama. Really, if you really want to, you probably can go back way further than that. But um, definitely can go back to prior administrations because this inflation thing has been going on for years and years and years, ever since, as well, essentially ever since Nixon. So, yeah, it's just gotten 10 times worse under this new administration for sure. Maybe not 10 times. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but definitely a lot worse. Hopefully houses go down because mortgage interest goes up, so people can't afford those higher price tags. With high interest rates, cash is king. Yep. But it's still supply and demand thing. People were paying 15% interest back in the 80s. I remember I saw one of my dad's original home mortgage was like 20% or something like that, something crazy. Drive your golf carts. Strawberries. We made a big batch of strawberry shortcake completely from our berries Friday night, still picking, and mulberries just started ripening. First year with those for us. Strawberry shortcake. Yum. Whoops. Relax. I lived through the 80s. My first mortgage was at 9.5. It will all work out for everyone. Yeah, 9.5. I saw them higher than that. Hell, Fed bonds were like 15% or something like that. I'm planning to can a few things this year. Salsa, peaches, jam, jelly, and have learned to make yogurt and cheese lately. First year growing cucumbers. Go make your own cheese. That's interesting. I also have a nice fig tree. Need avocado trees, Charlie. Hammer says Bitcoin and Ether is way down. Time to buy. Buy. A grateful man. Cash is king now for houses. New York City folks are buying up the houses here in Florida, sight unseen for cash. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. There's areas that are not coming down. The high demand areas are not. I don't see their home prices coming down. Now, where you live, where people are fleeing from, you might get home prices to come down. Another option to spend things on reusable items, replace single-use stuff, and then you don't have to buy it again. Yeah, true. What can we reuse? Can we reuse feminine products, babe?
Hell to the no.
Cloth diapers?
You got kids?
Good advice, going green. Yep, the Gen Zers need to see a few months with 21% a la Jimmy Carter. For sure. What do you do with figs? You make fig Newtons, don't you know? I'm not a fan, just fresh, but not sure what to do with them. We'll have to see how many cherries I get this year. The birds typically win. Likely peaches on 2 trees, though. Nice. I can't stand cherries. I can't. I can't stand any cherries. I will suffer through a cherry flavored Jolly Rancher. They usually come in late August, early September. Got to eat them right away when ripe. They're very tasty. Interesting. Chicken is semi-scarce right now because of the avian flu, at least around here, depending where they source. Would like to get further on solar. We bought a bunch of chicken, didn't we? Yeah, we bought a bunch of chicken breasts, legs, thighs. It's fairly cheap. We can make it stretch. So you, well, I can make a stretch. I only can eat. I can eat one thigh instead of one thigh and one leg.
You act like you're cooking all these meals and shit.
GW doesn't cook. He might grill. Usually cut them up, put them in a salad. Takes a few years for tree to grow and produce fruit. Oh, so that's why I saw chicken selling for $15. $15. Holy crap. What does a big old pack of chicken breast cost, babe? Like 11, 10, 11? Yeah, something like that. Jumbo pack. I would love to get a plum tree and apples. We had a plum tree when I was growing up, but live in a trailer park, so kind of running out of space for trees. Yeah, I would imagine they'd limit you on that. I still need to get a jalapeno in the ground and putting another bed in too. Yeah, jalapeno was surprisingly easy. I didn't do anything to it. Just stuck it in the ground. I have solar, but when there's a blackout, the solar goes out as well if it's tied to the grid. If you can afford it, it's worth it over time. Plus, it extends the life of the roof. Gotcha. All right, man. We're just gardening now. We're the gardening channel. Interesting. If I see some figs somewhere, I'll try the salad approach. Look in the Nabisco aisle. It's fig Newtons. They have them in apple flavor too. Depends on what it is for preservations. Typically, pickle cucumbers can freeze Tomatoes, dry beans, or freeze or can for green beans. I put beef in the freezer, so try not to freeze long term. Huh. Interesting. I grow figs and they are cool, but here in Connecticut, we race the clock. But the strawberries are in and the crop is great and tomatoes are early. Tomatoes. Strawberry Festival sold out early this year. Anyone got tips on rooting suckers from tomato plants? I've killed 3 now. What the hell are rooting suckers? First, let the suckers get a few sets of leaves, then plant deep. Over half will become new plants and water your cucks daily. What the heck are y'all talking about? I'm putting GW in the freezer to preserve them. Oh, nice. I might last in there for 15, 30 seconds, something like that. Probably didn't plant deep enough then. Dust too late to water kooks. Yeah, I'm gonna bow out of that conversation, I think. I'm hauling chicken right now. Proper 19 is Mississippi to Wisconsin. You're in a 18-wheeler, 53-foot trailer. What are you paying for diesel now? Help me, I'm poor. Yeah, I feel you there, Matt Money. The pack of boneless, skinless breasts that used to be $6.57 is now $9.85 here. Wings are 16 or 18. Wings are stupid expensive. I don't even know. We wanted to make some wings. I don't know, a month or so ago, and yeah, they're just dumb expensive. So we passed on wings. Grow your peppers in pots and bring them inside for the winter. You can grow them for years. The hots are easy.
We just smoke pot.
We can smoke pots and then stay inside for the winter. How about that?
Get plenty of peppers.
So maybe less bird issues in Florida. There should be more bird issues in Florida, I would imagine. Times are rough, but the rest of the planet sucks worse. Yeah, it's not horrible yet. For sure. Clearly, I'm not the one who hybridizes daylilies. Don't tell my son that, Gary laughed out loud. I already have to figure out where to put the lemon tree over winter, and the pepper is going in a half barrel. Or crosses hosta varieties. I think we like turned everybody away from the live stream. We're always talking about I thought this was about inflation in the stock market, and it does tie in a little bit because growing your own food is very, very a very great way to battle inflation. I got neighbors right behind me. They like have a mini freaking farm in their backyard. They literally they work on it all the time. That's the other. They're retired, and I swear she works on it 10, 12 hours a day. There's like, geez, man. I hope you're saving a lot of money. I mean, I know, growing your own food saves you money, but I mean, you're working on that thing all the time. Hate to say it, but if things get worse, not sure I'll be able to handle it. Why not? What do you mean? What do you mean handle it? I was thinking about that today. It's like when I was thinking about this poll thing, and I was like, I was thinking about the spending part, and it's like, you might as well just spend it. I mean, if things get really, really bad, money's not going to matter. It comes to things will come to a point where the only thing that matters is food. So the gardeners, and the preppers are going to have the laugh at that point. Now, I'm not saying go be a prepper, but it's not a horrible idea. There's a lot of people that like laugh at preppers. Oh, look at you stocking up on this and stocking up on that. But it's like life insurance, right? If you never use it, that's okay. But if you ever need to use it and you got it, yeah. I occasionally eat hosta shoots in spring, but I mainly just rip lilies out when they are too close to my rosemary, although I hear their tubers are edible too. Y'all are way over my head. Wings are a waste. Yeah, they are. Cut your breasts into strips and cook the same way as you would do your wings. Better and easy to eat. I'd rather just get chicken legs. I mean, it's like cheaper, way cheaper. But no, I get what you're saying. Good take on the QQQ. My guess is that QQQ will cover a lot faster than QYLD. What's your take? I assume the income part of QYLD will increase as well in the recovery. QQQ will definitely recover a lot faster than QYLD. I mentioned this in a comment. I forget who was asking me. But essentially, QYLD, the previous QYLD used to be managed by a different investment company, a different management team. And it used to, at one point in time, sell 2% out of the money calls so that at least you got upside capture, a little bit of upside potential. I don't know if it was when Global X took over the fund, but at some point in time, they decided to change and do at the money calls. Now, what that's going to do is severely limit the upside capture, and it's going to severely slow the recovery. I mean, just look at it from March 2020 on and compare it to the QQQ, and you'll see that in action. It will take forever to recover, and then if something happens, it's going to fall like we just had now. And yeah, so the Qs will definitely recover a lot faster. QYLD, as the share price rises to 18.50, you'll get 18.5 cents. If it gets to 19, you'll get 19 cents, and so on and so forth. So yeah, QQQ, if you want to play the recovery. QYLD, if all you want to do is maximize income. That's really what it is. I was silly, ended up saving for over 6 years and decided to finally dump my money into stocks back in March and May this year and paying dearly for it. I wouldn't worry about it. What's done is done. Eventually it's going to come back. When that is, I don't know. As long as you don't need the money in the next couple of years, you'll probably be fine. As long as you're into quality stocks or the index, and you can, add some money here and there to it, you'll be fine. The Sheik says 10 to 30% drop ahead for S&P until you see house prices dropping. Plan for more pain ahead. 30% would make a 50% drop from peak. That'd be pretty harsh. I can see it though. I'm not going to say it won't happen, but I trade stocks and watch the market from my garden. So there is your connection. Gary, too funny. I think in this kind of environment, only way to survive is to have a recession-proof job and almost zero debt. Definitely don't have credit card debt. If you have low interest loans, right? Like 3-4% auto loan, 3-5%, 3 to 4% home loan. Some people have twos, right? Definitely don't want to speed up the payoff on that. I would say just, hold on, don't pay it off. Uh, because that payment is going to be, if you got 30-year mortgage, 10 years from now, that $1,500 payment or whatever you're paying is going to be minuscule compared to what that $1,500 means to you today, because of, hopefully your income will increase and, all that stuff. So that $1,500 payment, would probably be $3,000 in 10 years or whatever. I bonds for any cash you have outside your emergency needs. Great if you are saving for something big right now. Yeah, but it's only $10K that you can put in every year. I figure the homestead mindset is like prepping sustainably. Pretty much, yeah. You can be a semi-prepper and still live a modern life. Just don't stock up on the ammo. It's very expensive. No, I would disagree with that. I would say definitely stock up on the ammo if you can find it on sale. That will probably hold its value better than silver or gold, in my opinion, just from past, my experience with it within the past, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years. It's been the best investment, hard asset investment I've ever made is ammo. By the way, your video on the income funds was very good. Tomorrow I'm buying some Devo, I would imagine. Devo. Thank you. Devo and Jeppy. Good buys right now. Jerry on QLD, correct, but they are much more predictable for us old timers loving dividends who now drip into XYLD and RYLD. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I said. If you're maximizing income, then QYLD is fine to be in. It's just not you almost have to ignore your capital and just keep buying, because you just, it's going to be a very extremely slow recovery if you're worried about recovery. It could take you years to get back to $20 at this point, is what I'm saying. I don't know that for a fact, but it could. Gary, I'm one of the folks scared of guns and ammo. I had a friend's father that committed suicide, but not him against the 2A. Yeah, I wouldn't be scared of guns and ammo. I would be scared of the people using them, because the guns and the ammo is just an inanimate object. It doesn't do a thing until the person with it does something. But sorry to hear about your friend's father. Agree on interest rate strategy, Jerry. Yes. To follow up on me dumping my money into stocks, you are right. I don't need it right now. And it was mostly in VU and Qs and some JEPI and some JEPQ and a little SCHD. Thanks for answering, by the way. Yeah. That's good to see that you're in quality stuff. At least you didn't buy, a lot of hype stuff and growth stocks, individual growth stocks. I think the Qs are much safer in that aspect. And as long as you got time, I think you're going to be fine. I tell people all the time, what do we do now? I go, well, if you got time, zoom out on a stock chart. Just zoom out on the SPY and the QQQ stock chart and you'll see, you'll be fine. I don't think we're going to be going into like the Great Depression. But what are you planning to use the ammo on? Whatever is necessary. But it is a value store. Okay. Like people buying gold and silver. What are you planning on doing with gold and silver? You know what I mean? Gold and silver, it's like stupid to have gold and silver sitting on your thing. At least the ammo actually has a purpose, right? If we do get into a Great Depression mode and I have to go hunt for food, that's one thing you can do. If yeah, everybody knows all the answers to that. I'll probably just continue to DCA each paycheck to lower my cost averages. That's a perfect way to do it. 10K per spouse. There is a gifting trick as well. Use future years limits. Gotcha. 10K per spouse. You have more than one spouse there, Slim Dog? Per spouse. Why pay off 2% loan when we make 12%? Exactly. But you got 2% loan, making 12%, but losing 9% in inflation. So, it all sucks. But definitely don't pay off the low interest rate loan. What up, boys? Jerry, all about some BLK. Grind and retire. BLK. Is that Blackstone? What is that? Let me look it up. BLK. Oh, no, that's BlackRock, ain't it? BLK. Yep. BlackRock. They rock. %3 yield, 15 PE. What are they looking like? They're sitting on support, man. Got earnings coming in a month. BlackRock, don't they own like a whole bunch of homes, whole bunch of land in America nowadays? I'm scared of having a gun myself and what I might do. Well, then, Ben, you are the type. I'm glad that you recognize that and that you acknowledge that. And I would suggest that you not have a gun yourself as well. So kudos to you for acknowledging that. Aribu, how are investing in dividend ETF for preferred stocks like PEY, PGC, PFF for fighting inflation through dividend income? It could get bad for preferred shares. Because anytime you have an rising interest rate environment, right? The current preferred shares that you own will be worth less if they issue more preferred shares now at a higher rate. So that's where it gets tricky. That's with any bonds, right? When the yield goes up, anytime the yield goes up on a bond or even a preferred share, the previous issued bonds or preferred shares pricing will fall. It will fall the amount the new bonds are being issued, because now the new bonds at a higher rate are more in demand, and people aren't going to want these older bonds. They'd rather have those bonds. Jeppy, since January for me, a building position. I am down only 1%. I reinvest the dividends. The SPY is down 17 to 18%. It is my ballast. I like Jeppy. I've been buying some too. Yeah, I'm familiar with those. How are they doing? Let me look at one real quick. I would imagine they're getting hit. What are they at year? Oh yeah, they're getting hit hard. Yeah. You're going to get the yield. What is let me look at the distributions. Are they shrinking or are they growing? They should be growing. Yeah, they're growing. There's something you need to learn about bonds, and it's called duration. Look that up. It's a little bit too much to get into, but if you look at the duration, and duration on a bond is typically expressed in years. Okay. So if a bond has a duration of 5 years, what that means is for every 1% interest rates rise, it'll take you 5 years to make up that difference. Okay. So the shorter the date, the smaller that number, the more quicker you'll recover when interest rates rise. But that being said, that usually probably means a lower yield as well. But look up, go on to Investopedia and look up bond duration and read on that. It'll help you understand how bonds work, because preferred stocks kind of work the same. By the way, got a new in the works. So stoked about it. I can't talk about just that it's government. Oh, you got a new job in the works? Is that what you're saying? I was assigned early on 200 shares of IWM. Been forever rolling them since November. Took the loss and sold them first thing Friday morning before IWM dropped another 1.5%. Yeah, I was surprised IWM held up. Held up the best, I think, last week. Do you really trade ammo, buy and sell? You could, if you had to. If it came down to it, right? Why do people hold physical gold? It's so that they can trade and barter with it in a time of, that type of time. Now, if we had that type of time again, would I rather have gold or would I rather have ammo and the tool to use that ammo? For me, I'd rather have ammo than gold. Because it's much more, you're less of a target. Let me put it that way. If you have gold, physical gold, you'll definitely, if you have physical gold and no ammo or something to use that ammo with, you will definitely be a target. I wish. What do you wish?
About having another spouse when he said 10K.
Oh, you don't have multiple spouses. David Fairchild, do the dividends on the high yield covered call ETFs seem to be fairly consistent month over month, even when the principal falls a bit? No, they will follow the share price. For the most popular ones, QYLD, RYLD, XYLD will follow 1% of the share price. So if QILD's at $18 at close of business on the monthly expiration date of the options, if it's at $18, you're going to get 18 cents. If it's at $15, you're going to get 15 cents. If it's at $25, you'll get 25 cents. So it's all dependent upon that. That's how it's been working. A new job. Oh, right on, Grinding Retire. My gun is just sitting there doing nothing. Yeah, mine too. Yeah, it's not doing anything. It's actually $15,000 individual or $30,000 for a couple for gifting. Dang. I'll accept that gift. For sure. Jerry, when do you think QILD management strategy changed officially? 2015? Wonder if I can look that up real quick. Yeah. Investment objective and investment strategies changed effective October 15th, 2015. Yeah, I'm not going to read all of it, but that's the quick thing I found there. Do you invest in crypto? No, I do not. Not yet, but it's getting interesting. I might throw a couple $100 at it or something like that, but I'm definitely not going to, it's not going to be a huge portion of my, not even going to be a meaningful portion of my portfolio. QLD also reorganized effective December 24th. Yeah. I think that's when they went from Horizons. Horizons used to manage it, reorganized into Global X. Seeds. My ammo is seeds. Nice. That works too. Thoughts on 401k loan to get some cash to get some ETF when it drops while your loan repayment is dollar cost average on your 401k target date funds. As long as that doesn't cost you very much money, why not? I don't. Do you have to pay interest to yourself on a 401k loan? I've never had a 401k, so I have no idea how that works. Prez, when did you switch from being president to being a sheik? Thanks. You're welcome. Hit the thumbs up button and answer that poll. If you already hit it twice. Correct. So you can gift more than that in a single year. It just counts against your lifetime gift allowance of $11,700,000 on your estate. Was blessed to gift my son several hundred K this year. No tax. Sheesh. Nice. That'll delete it. No, I don't think so. Not if you hit it. If you've already done it and you do it twice, that if you've already hit it, then you hit it again, that'll unlike it. Then you hit it again, that'll like it. I do believe. Multiple spouses, why would you want that? Yeah, I don't know. Sounds like multiple headaches and a cardboard house under a bridge in your future. Yeah, probably. If you hit it twice now, it takes it away and puts it right back. There you go. Since we're talking about ammo, I'm glad I make my own. Yeah, that's even cheaper. But the supplies, I remember we had a supply issue there for a while. I would imagine we're having a supply issue there now as well. But I've never made my own. I looked into it, but I really don't have the Well, I do. I'm lying. I do have the room. Maybe I don't have the desire. Would you like to adopt me? Yeah, me too. They're grateful, man.
I'll be a grateful one.
I'll be a grateful son. Good night, everyone. Knives says I have a 5 a.m. start tomorrow. Good night, Knives. Hope you sleep well.
Hope you close the doors.
Doug Howard, if you hit thumbs down, hit it twice. There you go. 401k loan, you pay back yourself with interest, but you are missing out on compound growth. You also have to pay it back fast if you lose your job, or taxes plus early withdrawal penalty. Tread carefully. Good to know. Good to know. Sell everything and run for the hills. Yeah, I was looking at Zillow property. There ain't much out there that I'd want to buy for any kind of affordability. What would GW do? Sell XOM, Mo, and Cat and put into SPY? XOM? That's probably getting close to a sell. You know, how much, I mean, where are we at on oil nowadays? Where are we at on oil nowadays? 120-ish? You think it can move to 150? I think it'll move to 150. Holy cow. I don't know. Mo, I might be buying some Mo. I sold a couple of puts on Mo. It was funny. They had a downgrade saying that inflation is going to put a damper on smokers. And no. No. As a former smoker, inflation didn't bother me. 2008 crash didn't bother me. Nothing. If you're a smoker, you're a smoker. Period. So, you might, change brands. That might be a thing, but smokers, inflation. You'll find a way to smoke. Sweet dreams, Knives. Yes, thank you. Dude, you should so do it. Worth it big time, and you get to make your own custom loads. Yeah, I thought about it, but now that I want to, who knows how this is going to work now, go RVing. I don't know if I'd want to have all that and all that in an RV, if that makes sense. If I ever find a home that I would say, okay, this is our home, I'd probably do something like that. But the fact is, I don't want to be living here longer than I have to. So I don't want to start something like that. Kev Dog Millionaire, always be buying. We have talked ourselves into this recession with the help from DC and Putin. We have spent ourselves into this recession for sure. Run for the hills. I missed 1 week and I no longer get ads for the compound in Tennessee. See, you can't be missing. Cigarettes cost the exact same here. I first started smoking at 10 years old. Used to be able to get a pack for, I think, $1. I think it was $1. And I haven't smoked cigarettes in quite a while, but last I paid, I think, was $7, and that was a couple years ago. And I don't know what they are now. I would imagine they're $9-10 here in California. How much are they down there? Have they ever been a smoker? Laugh out loud. That is hilarious. Yeah, that exactly. It's like, what kind of downgrade is that? Like, you're gonna do the inflation's gonna curtail smoking. No, it ain't. Hell no. Matter of fact, it might actually increase it because they're freaking stressed out and they need a cigarette. I saw someone. I mean, I was a smoker at 10 years old. I quit a couple years ago. I don't remember when it was. I vape now, but it's not quite the same. I can kind of put that down and not even worry about it. But I enjoy it. It's fun. It's flavorful. But I saw someone smoking a cigarette the other day, and I was like, man, that looks good. I haven't smoked a real cigarette in like 2 or 3 years, and it's still there. Like that desire is still there. Like I even thought about it. I was like, maybe I could just go get a pack and like smoke one a day, like in the morning or something. And I was like, nope, not going to do it. Not going to go there. I've already quit and I don't need to get back into it. But it just goes to show you how strong that desire is. Own 4K of XRP to the moon, baby, getting wrinkles waiting. What is XRP? I heard of that. Is that a sector ETF? What is that? XRP. I don't know. What is XRP? I don't even know what that is. The compound is dead. Dave quit. Well, hopefully he's building it and he comes back and says, hey, it's all done. $1 a pack here. See, yeah. That's easy to be a smoker there for sure. But if it was $5 a pack, I bet you'd still be a smoker. Dave didn't quit. He was just looking for alternative locations. Yeah. Sin always pays in the long run. In fact, there's an ETF. I need to find the ticker. I wonder if it has pot stocks in it. Do you know the ticker? Yeah, there was a Sin ETF. I forget what it was. We got a few of them. I mean, there's the gambling one. Yeah, I forget what the actual Sin one was though. I've been making custom loads since I was 12 or yeah, I discovered around 12 as well. Menthols are about to be outlawed. That wouldn't stop. Yeah, I used to be a menthol smoker as well. I mean, if they outlawed menthol, I'd just go to non-menthol. It wouldn't bother me. I don't know. I don't know why they think that's going to be a big deal. I don't know. I started at 15, quit at 30, I think. Pretty sure it was 30. Good job. Yeah, it's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. You stink. I couldn't stand the smell of it. And I smoked anyway. Yep, ticker is YOLO. Yeah, there it is. You only live once. Having one now. Tastes great. What are you doing? Reds? Grinding retire. I vape too. I get what you're saying about it's not the same, but does help. Yeah, it's definitely not the same. It's yeah, I wouldn't miss it if I stopped. You know what I mean? But it's still kind of cool. It's definitely not. I did try. If anybody remember, I did a video way back on a tobacco alternative company called TAT, TAAT, and it's a hemp-based material or something like that. And it's supposed to be nicotine free, tobacco free, and it was supposed to emulate everything without the addictive nicotine. Now, I don't know if there was other byproduct chemicals that you're inhaling as well. You know, like tobacco has all these other byproduct chemicals that you're inhaling. But this was like hemp based or something like that. But I tried it and I got to tell you what, it was disgusting. It was not and it was weird because I saw these reviews on them like, oh, they nailed it. It's just like smoking a cigarette. And I tried it and I was like, this is disgusting. It was like going out to a field with dry grass and weeds and rolling that up and smoking it. It was gross. I was like, this is not, they didn't even come close to hitting it, in my opinion. It was not, yeah, it just wasn't good. I was expecting a lot more. Custom loads, my brain is going to what you're rolling in that joint. Vice, I will look into it tomorrow. It should be Sin. Yeah, Vice was another one, right? I think they have gambling casinos in there and stuff like that too. Yeah, it should be Sin. that would make some sense, but I don't think it's even there. Life is so worth living. The health cost is just worth the enjoyment of smoking. Life is so worth living. The health cost is just worth the enjoyment of smoking. Yeah, I mean, you know, you're playing poker. I mean, you're playing, the slot machine of life there, as far as, is it gonna kill you or is it not? Right. But my 90-plus-year-old neighbor over here goes out about 3 times a day and has herself a cigarette. I would imagine that she's been a lifelong smoker. Outlawing menthols would be racist. Yeah, I used to smoke menthols. I used to smoke menthols up until I was about, I would say, from 10 years old until 20, I don't know, 23, 24 years old. I switched over to reds, and that's kind of what I was stuck on for another 15 years or whatever it was. But when I was smoking menthols, every year I would get a horrible cold, like really jacked up throat and everything else. And then I quit menthols and that all went away. Now I rarely get sick. I remember that video. I love smoking. That would be cool, but disgusting is a no-go. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed smoking. But yeah, they didn't hit it. It was not, you can try it. I think you can go online and don't try it. They were sending out free packs. I don't know if they're doing that anymore, but I'd say don't try it. Unless they change something, I'd say don't try it. Worth living. Where can I find the reasons? You have any family, or are you just by yourself? Because if you're by yourself, like, that does. I would imagine that would be a little different. Our Marlboro Reds here come from the Philippines. Yeah, the Philippines, they know they like their cigarettes over there. Menthols make up over 40% of the market, 40% minorities, 40% women. That's fine. But they're not going to give up smoking because they don't have a menthol. I guarantee you that. They're not addicted to the menthol. They're addicted to the nicotine. Now, I guarantee you, they'll come up with something. Someone will come up with a filter tip. Remember those old filter tips they used to put on them? They'd make them all extended. Someone will come up with a filter tip that, as you draw in, it'll add menthol to the regular cigarette. It ain't gonna stop it. Not worth the hassle at this one. Yeah, it's not. It's not worth it. The knot was removed by the little green menthol smoking men in my phone. the health cost is not worth the enjoyment. I was wondering where you were going there. I stopped smoking and drinking 40 years ago at my 70th birthday. Next year, I might just start again. I am growing pot and don't smoke. Seems odd even to me. Have you ever tried pot? I would say try it. Here's the thing is you're 70, right? You might as well freaking try it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if you enjoy drinking, have a freaking drink. You're 70. You know, you're on the bell curve. I'm not wishing you harm or early death, but I'm just saying if you're up to that age and you want to do something, friggin' do it. They'll come up with a mint oil to put on them. Yeah, exactly. They will. Absolutely, they will. I live alone, lost my mom. Dad is on his way. I hear you. I hear you. You got to find a hobby. You got to find something you enjoy doing. That was my dad's problem. He didn't have anything he enjoyed doing. And that's why, Dave, I mean, people talk about Dave. It's like, oh, why is he doing that? Why is it? Well, what else are you going to do? That's what he wants to do. He enjoys hiking. He enjoys the outdoors. Do it. I think I'm going to buy a lot more EAD and NUSI. Definitely a good time to average down on NUSI because I think it's all-time lows right now. I don't think it's going to stay that way. And the EAD, I think we talked about that one before. I think that was the old Wells Fargo one that changed to Allspring. 6% discount to net asset value, 10% yield. I don't like the declining net asset value over time. Preferred stocks, loans, debt securities. You really have to dig into one of their quarterly or yearly reports and see what they're doing. At least maturity of their bonds are on the shorter side. 1 to 3 year at 6%, 3 to 5 years at 32%. But that was as of a couple months ago. That's one of the bad parts about closed-end funds is they're not required to disclose their holdings on a daily basis like ETFs. So you have to wait for earnings reports. They're basically earning reports. How did you stop smoking? Vaping. I went to vaping. They're trying to attack vaping too, and it's gotten a lot of people off it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say vaping is the end all be all, or is even safer, right? Because we don't know. There's not enough time to know the effects of vaping versus smoking, right? But what I do know is that there are a lot less chemicals and combustible materials that in vaping than there is in smoking. Now, is it likely to be less dangerous? I think so. But I'm not going to sit here and say it's totally safe because we don't know. Have a capsule thing and filters that you can crush for menthol. Yeah. Camel. I think it was Camel that came out with that originally. Camel Crush. Oh, dude. I remember I was like 11, 12 years old. Someone gave me a Lucky Strike non-filter. Holy cow, that knocked me on my ass. That was the strongest cigarette I've ever had, was a Lucky Strike non-filter. I have a friend that got me into rolling my own. The last couple years I was smoking, he would buy menthol papers and plain tobacco. Yeah, I never rolled I rolled my own joints, but I never rolled my own tobacco cigarettes. I used to miss rolling my joints. That was therapeutic for me. So you're 110 now, carry on. Yeah, you missed the comma. Could replace cig with joints easy. Oh, that's easy. Yeah, that would be easy. Unless you're, unless you're working, you can't. I'm gonna go have a joint break. That may not work out too well, depending on your job. But if you're retired, that could work out. Gary, just bake some brownies. Yeah, absolutely. Try it. Especially you're 70 years old, man. Just go for it. Yes, I smoked back in the day, and you're right, but I still live well. Yeah, I'm not saying not to. I'm just saying if you have a craving, like I have a craving for alcohol, but I don't do it because I don't do alcohol very well. Especially I don't do beer at all because beer bloats me up, makes me feel sick. It's like I have one beer and I'm like done. But I used to like hard alcohol, hard liquor. I used to like cognac, tequila, gin, that type of thing. I can throw back a few shots of that. But I do miss the cognac was my favorite, but the brown, I don't know what it was. The brown liquors would break me out. I would get like hives or something. So I can't do it. Maybe I can have one shot or something like that, but at the end, when I quit drinking, I was drinking tequila a lot, and that was because I couldn't drink the cognac. Talking Dave into meeting me in India later for the Himalayan trail. Stay tuned to to his channel. Wow, nice. At least with weed, it can mellow everything out. I stopped that before the kids were born. 2 years and the kids will be out of the house. Might go on vacation to Michigan. Yeah, I stopped when my youngest was born. It was funny. I stopped when my youngest was born, but then I had a coworker. He gave me a joint, and my son was only like 2 months old, and something like that. And I remember, like, you know what? I'm gonna smoke. And so I went outside, smoked it. Yeah, I got like super high, went back in the house, and my son started crying and screaming, and I panicked. I was like in panic. I was paranoid. I'm like holding him, like, oh, what do I do? So I haven't touched it since then. Nusi lol. If you're looking to quit, highly recommend just buying organic pipe tobacco and rolling your own. It gets rid of the additives and lessens the addictive stuff, so it's easier to cut down over time. Interesting. Organic pipe tobacco, huh? I always thought pipes were cool. Like, do they have pipes anymore? Pipes used to be cool. They just look all dignified with their cognac. Back to the 401k loan. Should have pulled some out, like max of 50K. Beginning of 2022, it was 2.5%. You already did that? Good night. It was a good show. Sorry about all the garden talk, but this market is so difficult. We need to relax in the garden. There you go. Mail me some pot there, Gary. No, it's going to be legal here. They just haven't opened the stores yet. It's legal here in the state, but locally they haven't opened the stores yet. I think they approved a few vendors. There's one opening up like right around the corner from my house, but I don't know when that's going to be. I mean, this is going on like 2-3 years now. I can go get it. It's like, I don't know, 45 minutes away. I can go drive and get it. Well, I can get it on the street. I can get it from my neighbors, either of my neighbors, actually. Realized I was rolling with a machine. They still had filters. Never had a machine. I thought those machines were cool, though. Have a great day in the garden for sure. Took 20K last week at 5% rate. My 401k portfolio was down 20%. So you had to sell? You had to sell? It wasn't just cash sitting there. You had to actually sell down 20% and pay a 5% rate. That doesn't sound like a good deal. So if you sold last week down 20% and you got to pay it back at a 5% rate, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I'm starting to look at houses with land in Indiana, so much cheaper. Yeah, what's the downfall on Indiana? Is it the snow? What part? I'm in North Central. Might have to buy some more alcohol. I ordered vanilla beans last week. Kind of alcohol. Does gold price drop when inflation is high, or will folks buy it up as a hedge? Gold should be going up. Let's see. What is it? What has it been doing? Year to date, yeah, it's up. Not by much, but it is up. So gold is just a store of value. So I wouldn't look at it as an investment, to be honest with you. Overseas markets are tanking. We are following sweet. Going green. Isn't spice the other name for organic tobacco? No, spice. I thought spice was like some really nasty stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. Alcohol is super high histamine. Hives are a histamine response. Older the age is higher the histamine. Tequila, I don't believe, is aged. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because every time, like if I I can have one shot of like cognac or any brown liquor, but the clear stuff, gin, tequila, well, I don't know. I never had excess amounts of gin. I only had like 1 or 2 shots. But I can do all kinds of tequila. But if I had more than like 2 shots of a brown liquor, yeah, I'd break out. I went in the tobacco store and asked where the pipe tobacco was. Bought a pound at a time. Dang, going grandma's buying pounds. I sold a SPY 400 put. Would you be concerned? I do have the cash to take it if need be. No, because you can just roll it. You can just roll it. I don't know. Only pipes I've had weren't for tobacco. Yeah, I had one of those too. Could you just get a plant? I don't know if I want to deal with it. I had one at one point, but I think it was like it never got to the point where it would bud and I had to throw it away because me and my roommate moved out of the place. I have to sell a target date fund at $13.80 per share to get $20K, and now the fund is $12.90. So you sold at $13.80 or you sold at $12.90? If you sold at $13.80, did you sell at a loss at $13.80? I was looking at Goshen, Indiana. Yeah, I'd be concerned about a SPY 400 put. Yeah, just roll it. Been selling covered calls of BP at 35. If they ever sell, I don't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be looking at selling oil stocks because this thing could go on for a couple more years. But if they did sell, yeah, I mean, if you got profit in it, it never hurts to take profit because, eventually things are going to go back to normal, right? So you're talking what, well under $100 oil. So what's going to happen to these guys? Brown liquor, bourbon. Why would you pick here? Hope you like trains if you're moving to Goshen. Interesting. Margarita is best. I guess you can call it clear liquor. I never liked all those really sugary sweet drinks. My 401k was moved to another company, so they sold my original fund to buy this new fund at beginning of the year at $15.50. Now it's $12.90. So you did sell at a loss. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good deal that you sold at a loss to pay interest on funds. Dumped all my crapto yesterday. It's now dropped 25% since then. Feeling glad I got out with a small profit. Profit's good. At what point will you get back in? It's a loss already. Thought process was I rather get some cash on hand and pay back my loan to dollar cost average and still contribute with matching. Problem is, it would take a serious move to recover the loss plus the interest. And you have to be right. So I don't know. I can do gin and just itch a bit. Most alcohol, I'm in highs pretty quick. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, there might have been some other alcohols that do that. But I noticed it specifically with cognac for sure. Yeah. I don't know if there was something special in cognac. I used to drink a little whiskey. Isn't whiskey brown? Yeah, whiskey's brown. So that didn't do it. Huh. I don't know. But yeah, never could do beer. Won't do beer. The loan repayment of 5% goes back to the 401k. Gotcha. Goes back to you? You're paying yourself interest, right? Then that makes more sense. But you still got to overcome the loss that you took by selling out. I can do moonshine, but not whiskey. Whew. Never had moonshine. I love crypto and its potential, but most people are trying to use it like a Ponzi and get rich scheme. For sure. If I sell 100 shares of BP at 35, I'll consider the 31 shares I have after free shares since dripping the last 2 years. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame anybody for selling now of any oil stock that's been in it for a while. I wouldn't blame anybody for selling now, but you could be missing out, but then I don't know. But maybe just trim a little bit here, trim a little bit there. And beer is a huge no-go for me. Yeah. I think beer just tastes gross. I don't understand the fascination with beer. Yeah, I just don't. Maybe someone will get me a real craft, beer that someone says, "Oh, this is great," right? Maybe I can tell the difference. I tried to roll 2 puts out on last Friday, but was not aggressive enough, so had to buy more rocket shares. Yeah, if you're trying to roll, you just kind of have to you almost have to do a market order. Almost. If you really have to, that's why I don't like waiting until Friday to roll. Because then you're kind of under the gun, and I don't like that. Shine is just unaged whiskey. Brown comes from the tannins in the barrels for aging, I believe. That makes sense. I ran Everclear and paint thinner in my GTO in high school when I had no money for gas. Ran great. I wonder if that's cheaper now than gas. IPA is better. One of them knocked me out. Yeah, see, I don't want to be knocked out. My best direct deposits these days is sadly after a Taco Bell visit. Hey, they brought the Mexican pizza back and they got rid of it in like 2 weeks. I'm like, geez, man, how are you gonna do that to people? I think they do that stuff on purpose. It gives me gas as well. Oh, yuck, Mike. Grand Retire. Oh, Jerry, you got to try a good craft beer like Weyerbacher. Their Blithering Idiot is amazing. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. All the beers I've ever had always been like just popular, over the shelf, basic stuff, and all of it just gave me bloat and made me feel like crap. And I didn't like the taste. I only drank it because I wanted to have a buzz. I'm about to start at IWM CSP or wait a bit, another 20% down. IWM, where's the support levels on IWM? Let's see. About 170. If you can get down to the one, it'd be ideal for a put for IWM, about 150. If you can get down there. Will oil production not increase in the U.S. as high prices make domestic production make it more profitable than March 2020 at $1.25 a gallon? Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it. Be nice. I drove by 2 Camping Worlds on my way to Kentucky today, and they had full lots, but huge American flags. Yeah, they always have huge American flags. I think we talked about it last week. Thor blew earnings. Thor Industries is the biggest RV manufacturer. They blew earnings out of the water last week. I'll buy Bitcoin when it drops to 0. So that's never. Saw diesel at $5.95, $6.05 a gallon. Yeah, here it's I saw it for $7.09 or something like that, whatever I said earlier. Anyone getting into a recession-proof industry like moonshine, that's definitely, I mean, alcohol, that's a good prepper uh, type inflation proof type thing, recession proof. Absolutely. Futures are crashing hard, maybe a good buy the dip opportunity. Quite possibly. Oh, what do you think of KMB since their bigger drops to 128? I'm considering more at the money too. KMB? Problem with these consumer defensives, consumer staples, is going to be their costs. Well, just to let you know, we bought about, I don't know, 80 rolls of toilet paper this weekend too. We got a good 6 months worth. Probably more than that, actually. KMB at this price, I mean, it looks good, but they're probably gonna have issues with their cost. Down at 120 would be a nice pickup. It got there too. Kind of growth are they expecting going forward? See, that's going to be the issue with a lot of these. You can trade sideways forever. Kimberly Clark growth expected the next 5 years, 5% growth the next 5 years. Does have a good dividend though. 3.6%. You know, everybody's going to use their products. It's definitely one that you can probably buy and hold forever. Have you had COVID? Me? Yes. Wait on IWM a couple days. Yeah, I would definitely wait and see things. We're on a wait and see type basis. They're adding on to their plant on the south side of Bristol. I can't see all the pretty vans when I go past now. Thor, that is. Yeah, they blew out earnings like in a big way. What was it? And the market's punishing them for it, by the way. Yeah, the estimate earning per share was $4.77, and they reported $6.32. So they just literally blew it away. But they're getting punished for it, and you know, like I said, I think I mentioned it too. Even if they do blow out earnings, it's not going to matter because of sentiment and the way people, interest rates and the way people think that nobody's going to be RVing anymore because of gas prices. Time to travel, dollar or strong. Yeah, where are you going? Yep, was down with it last October for me. Hacker Shore, Hacker Core Oktoberfest beer is hands down the best in the world. Look it up if you get a chance. It's like drinking a big glass of iced tea on the front porch swing of a tin roof Florida cracker. Tin roof Florida cracker. What the heck is that? I don't need toilet paper. I just use a taboo. If you don't know what a taboo is, you might want to look it up. House on a hot August afternoon. Did I paint the picture good enough for you? Yeah, what is a Florida cracker? Cracker house? What is a cracker house? I don't understand how someone can raise rent 50%. I have a good tenant and this is my first raise in 5 years. Most places that's illegal. A lot of places. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen anyway, but like my rent, I've been in this house for 5 years and my landlord only raised the rent once. But it's capped at 5% a year. So I can only he can only raise it what, 65, about $65 if he raises it again, and he's got to hold that for a year. I'm hoping he bypasses that. Gonna use up my points for Maldives before it's too expensive. I'm picturing a gingerbread house. Yeah. Like Florida cracker house. Yeah. One of the Republicans says cocaine is cheaper than gas. Snort it and run around instead of filling up your car. That might be true. It actually might last longer. You know, snort it and jump on a bike. No cap for me, but it looks like I need to raise it next year. My rent run up $25 this year. Well, $30, but $5 discount if paid on time. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, he can only do a 5% cap on me, and he's only done it once. California has some weird rental laws. Like, landlords here are almost punished for not raising them every year, because there's some stipulation about like you can't, if you have a tenant that you got rid of, you can't raise it, the rent on your house up to market levels. It has to follow what you are already getting for it, which is extremely stupid. I think if he can get, because if I left here and he can go up to market rate, he'd be making an extra 500 plus a month on this house. I've come to the point where I see Costco add the bellwether for the market, price wise, not actual earnings or. I've come to the point where I see Costco as the bellwether for the market, price wise, not actual earnings or fundamentals. Huh. Interesting. Costco, huh? Them suckers are always packed. It had been 505 last year, so big hike. $30. That's only 5%. No. Yeah, 5%. Market rate is 2,800, charging 2,000. I was even thinking of selling, but in this market, need to hold on. Asset. It's in New York City, by the way. Yeah, that's 2,800. That's like disgusting. Yeah, that makes no sense. If someone moves out, there is cleaning and upkeep to be done to re-rent the house. Increase of rent is needed to offset costs. I agree. But there's trying to, rents have gotten out of control, I guess, kind of like New York here in California, and they're talking rent control and all that stuff. So I feel bad for the landlords here. I really do, because there are some slumlords, but then there are quite a few, individuals that own a couple houses, right? And they get so much regulation and red tape. It's kind of stupid. Well, how did our poll end up doing? What are you doing about inflation? We got 96 votes. 20% of you, so that's what, 18%, 18 of you or so, are saving money. Only 9% of you are spending. That's surprising. That's only roughly 9 people are spending. Good news, 59% of you are investing. You just have to keep doing it. And then 11% of you are hiding. And one of those is my wife. So, but still, that's still eight people that are in hiding. Let's see. I think we're gonna cut this short here. NYC is the worst. I had 2 years of unpaid rent before eviction. Legal fees and other fees suck. Yeah. My landlord has a tenant that hasn't paid since March of 2020. Has not paid. Can't do nothing about it. But they just lifted the eviction moratorium yesterday or Friday. So he hasn't been paid for that home since March of 2020. And the crazy part is he's still got to pay the taxes. He actually literally has to still maintain it. Because I mean, if he let the yard go, he'd get fined for not maintaining the yard. So kind of sucks. I guess that's why you don't get into rentals unless you can own property outright. Yeah, if you had to make payment on that house, yeah, what do you do? Right? You're screwed, right? So this was before COVID. Gotcha. All right, guys. Is he still paying? I don't believe so. He owns quite a few houses. He might have a mortgage on a couple of them, but I don't believe so. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna cut this off. Thank you guys for showing up, all you guys. This was fun. I don't know. I'm not gonna look at futures until the morning. I wake up at like 4:30 in the morning now, or 4. Well, she wakes me up about 4:50 to take her to work, and I typically won't go back to sleep. So hope you guys have a good one. Thank you, Bend over. Find yourself something to do, man. Appreciate you always being here. You two going Green Mom and Kevin and all you guys. Dave is coming in. Dave Johnson is coming in and being the pessimist. Market is going to get hammered. That's good news because the more it gets hammered, the more it's going to recover and the more money we're all going to make. So hope you guys have a good week, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.